do you think there'll be any hit to your sector because of what is going on half a world away?
I think the consumer generally spends to their level of income, and as long as the labor market remains strong, that'll influence the health of the consumer. However, the overall inflationary environment, as you rightfully pointed out, is front and center for many consumers. They're having to spend more money to have the same level of consumption. And as long as that continues and inflation is running hotter than it has historically, and that is going to impact the consumer. That's going to be top of mind for these retail companies as we get into the heart of retail reporting season.
Yeah, and I know, listen, with all due respect to the earnings that are coming out, I think, Michael, you would have to agree that the guidance, what you are going to hear on these calls for what's going to happen is going to be much more important, because since these companies closed the books on December 31st, the price of oil and gas has surged. The price of lumber has taken off once again, like it did earlier last year. There's actually much more inflation on the input side, even 5 and 6 weeks later, than there was when this past quarter for these earnings ended. It is truly, maybe not a new world, Michael, but certainly maybe a less certain world on the inflation side. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that, Brian. And I agree with the idea that the outlooks will be more important than the actual results, given the level of uncertainty that these companies are facing right now. And generally speaking, these companies have taken an optimistic view on the year ahead. Part of the reason for their optimism is that they sell goods in nominal dollars. And so to the extent that inflation is occurring, that's helping their sales results. And that's part of the reason why they're expecting this year to be pretty healthy, despite the fact that they're going to be lapping a ton of stimulus from last year. There will be a transition from the consumption of goods to the consumption of services, and there is all this uncertainty in the environment.
Yeah.
But the good, well-positioned retailers are doing well, and they're reflecting that thus far in their outlooks for the year ahead.
Yep. Very briefly, Michael, you still bullish on Home Depot and Lowe's?
We are. We think housing as a asset class will be a place where the consumer continues to want to invest. And the work from home culture that we're living in right now has done nothing but further enforce that idea. So we like Home Depot and Lowe's. They're a great play on that trend over the long run. They're going to experience some volatility in their trends, but we like it over the long run, right? Absolutely.
Yeah.